All right, everybody, welcome back to the No Cover TV podcast. That's right, I'm your host, Big Al, and I take that original, local, and national music scene and I shove it in your face. You need to hear it. There's great music all around the world, all genres, all age groups. So we got a great show for you today. Our artist is joining us, coming back again. He was back here last October, and I think he's in his car if we hear him right now.
Yeah, just jumped into the truck.
So we got that going on. I'm not going to introduce him quite yet, but check out the past shows, of course, people. The future shows, we got a lot of great shows on. I get the story out to you. You check out the music, all right? So use my 3 favorite words: support, support, support. These artists, get to the shows, pay that cover charge, get to the swag table, get your CDs, your DVDs, albums, t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, bumper stickers, keychains, perfume, whatever you want. They've got to get to the stage, enjoy the show. Then after the show, meet the artist, get an autograph. You just never know. They're doing what they're doing because they love to put a smile on your face. In return, you're putting a smile on their face. It's a great thing. Great thing. So let's get to our artist today. Like I said, he was here once before, October 7th of last year. Unbelievable. It's been that long already. Well, in the house today is singer-songwriter Michael F. Rose from Bad Horse out of the Idaho area. My brother, how you doing?
I'm well. How's it going, Al? How's everybody doing out in listener land?
We're all doing good, man. We're all doing good and loving what we hear from you artists. Yes.
I tell you what, your show, I have a couple favorites. You're one of them. I can't tell you who the other one is because I can't think of one, but I just didn't want to make anybody else feel bad, but I actually really enjoy the shows that we do together. So thanks for having me on.
Well, I appreciate it, my friend. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. We get down to the nitty gritty and we talk about everything. Yeah. So you've been busy this past year, real busy.
My last year, my God, in a nutshell, I'll give you the Cliff Notes, and then you can ask me to elaborate on what component of this machine that you want.
Okay.
I finally finished a 20-year very unhealthy relationship.
All right.
With somebody, and took me down to the doldrums, about the darkest, the lowest place I've ever been in my life. But I knew I had to go through that. So there was just something that just kept me going, man. And when I started coming out of that season, I realized that adversity is the class we have to take to get to the very thing that we told God that we wanted.
True.
And I just kept going. I just kept going. And everything that I had worked so hard for, I mean, it's still culminating, but I felt like it was God's way of trimming off all the stuff in my life that I needed to get out of the way to prepare myself for what He had for me, and for with music, you can only have so much in your cup, right?
Exactly.
So it was a space, it was a fire sale. I got rid of a lot of stuff I didn't need because I was sick of stuff. I was sick of stuff getting in the way of my gift and my art.
Yeah.
I put my art on hold for many years, and that's okay because I did it for a noble cause. I was raising my kids, and
right.
I saw what the music biz did to a lot of my friends, and I just didn't want to go be that guy. And at the end of the day, my kids are all raised and they're all pissed off at me anyway. So,
so are mine.
I'm just joking. No, we have a great relationship. All five of them. Actually, 5. I got a daughter I adopted, and I have another son named Isaiah that I raised for a majority of his life, and now I'm surrounded by all these wonderful people. But then when that day came where I finally had to say, I need to start living my life for me. I didn't really know how to do that. I'd never done it before. So that was a bit of a transition, and the music was just waiting there. And I've been stockpiling songs for 20 years, 25 years.
Oh.
So I have more music in my catalog, for anybody out there who wants to buy a hit, PM me. I got a bunch of them. I probably don't have enough. I'm in my 50s, let's just say. and if I could live to be 100 years old, I don't know if I have enough time in my life to record all the songs I have. So really blessed that way.
Yes, you are.
Bad Horse is just absolutely insane. These guys, Bob Bumfris on bass and Mark Hume on the guitar and Flip Perkins, our drummer. just keeps getting better and better. Now we're headlining some festivals, and we're going back into the studio the end of this month. Just a blast. Hyde Park Street Fair. We're going to be over at that in Boise this year.
Nice.
Just tons of stuff. There's so much stuff. I don't even want to do the whole commercial. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, we talked, it was about 8 months ago or so. We talked on the phone. And from that point, from when we talked, man, you're just taking right off. I mean,
I tell you what, it was right about that time that we did that I started getting just more and more podcasts offer interviews, radio interviews, FM radio. We've got 57 Chevy being played on FM radio all over Australia.
I see that.
We have a song called Touch that's always been this interesting song. Here's a wild backstory on this.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started recording, I bought a Persona Studio One Second Edition home studio. And to this day, I use that. It is absolutely amazing. And I do it for my guitar vocal-ish solo work. I don't do full band production stuff on it. We do that at Audio Lab Studios and Starman Studios in Boise. We have a couple places that we work with for the bigger band. But man, I recorded a song called Touch. And I released it on TuneCore. I didn't know how to release a song. I thought you record it, you put it out there, everybody hears it and goes, "Oh wow!" and then you're retired.
I didn't know how
it worked.
We got to set it up. Yes.
At any rate, this song is always number one or number two most played, it's always challenging 57 Chevy. Like one week it'll be on top of 57, and 57 will be in the lead. But it's crazy to know that I recorded that in my master bedroom closet. I played every instrument on it. It probably took me a month to build that song.
Oh man!
Because it was the first song I recorded on that Personas, and that song's just dear to me. And what's kind of trippy too is that's one of those songs that I dreamed, because I dream songs every once in a while.
Well, that's a cool thing to do.
Yeah. Well, this one was weird, Al, because I woke up. And the lyric is, "If you touch me once, girl, touch me twice." And I woke up and I'm like, that's the weirdest damn thing I've ever heard. I'm not going to sing that.
But it worked out.
Because it was a dream song, I had to stay faithful to his art. And I recorded it, and that song still trucking. Weird. So for you guys that don't have access to bigger studios and stuff, your home studio, maybe take some tutorials. I did a few of those on YouTube, learn how to use it effectively, and you can make music. I know a lot of people do already, but don't ever let that stop you.
Oh, no. I mean, the bathroom's great. Closets are great. Oh, man, definitely. Yeah, I did the same.
Great vocals in the bathroom.
Oh, right? Yeah. It's great getting in that shower. You can belt it out. That's great.
Yeah, but everybody sings good in the showers, they think.
We sure do. I'm a number one star. So
are you the number one shower singer?
Yeah, exactly. We need to put a show together that's just for that.
For sure.
So everybody out podcast land, Michael F. Rose, he plays country, rock, blues, got some ballads out there, and he's got an edge to him, which is really cool, man. Michael's a badass. I love you, brother. This is great.
Love you back.
So let's continue on before I get to the songs and stuff. All right, where are we at with singles and EPs right now?
Oh, man. I have, in the next 3 weeks, I have 4 songs coming out. I've got a song called New Song, My Ellie, which is a song I wrote about the love of my life that I met just a while back. Right. And we're releasing that through Sony Orchard. Yeah. And then I have a song called Wonder. I have a song called Anyone But You, and a song called Hush Now My Child, which is a bit of a gospel song that I recorded some time ago that I finally finished. And I have so much music, I just didn't want to put everybody to task to write press releases, because I just started, once I got David Sony and Mark Rosner and Michael Batte and our wonderful team at Big Records, everybody on board with me releasing this third single through Sony Orchard. Yeah. My train's coming right now, so it might get us a little bit. But, then I just started unloading those other ones, because I've been working on them for a long time, and I just wanted to really build the repertoire, but I wanted people to see that there's a different side of me too, because the song Wonder I play on the piano. It's kind of very much more my singer-songwriter style, as opposed to like the big rock band, kick-ass, bad horse,
Right.
fire. This is more of my cross between my influences, like my Gordon Lightfoot and my Dan Fogelberg and maybe some early Neil Young, just all those guys that really influenced me when I first started playing guitar. When I first found old 6-string in my mom's garage that had 5 strings, it didn't have a high E. So I was in there trying to figure out how to play, longer than stars up in the heaven.
I love it.
I've been in love with you. I've been trying to figure this. I still can't figure out what those guys are doing. I'm doing like my Dan Fogelberg and oh gosh, I don't know. Somebody came up and paid me an amazing compliment, man. They came up and said, and they told Bobby, my bass player, this too. They said, your music makes me feel like I used to feel when I listened to music.
Nice. That's a beautiful compliment.
Oh, yeah, man. That's the pinnacle. I don't know. I'm sure I might get one as nice, but to me, what I'm really doing is in this song, My Ellie, it's called New Song, parentheses, My Ellie.
Okay.
I wrote this third verse, and it's actually in the second verse too. I'm sitting right now where I was when I was walking through hell last winter, in the middle of winter. I'm sitting in front of this beautiful creek, but it wasn't beautiful then. There was no water running in the creek. All the trees were, it was into December.
Oh.
And I just kept walking up and down this, just talking to God, going, okay, what now? This is after I got out of that very toxic situation that I was in, because I knew that was always holding me back, because I only had enough time to either try to prop somebody up or let them go and let God deal with them and help them and love them. I'm done trying to do his job, Al. I realize I suck at it.
Yeah. You can't make everybody happy. No.
Exactly. So while I walked this green belt, I heard the first verse is, I put away your pictures yesterday, took a walk to have a talk with God along the way. He said, lonely only means it's time to pray, that he would have this time with me. Then he went on to say, I heard when you were crying, saw you broken on the floor, but there will come a day there'll be no crying anymore. He whispered, love is patient. Son, be brave enough to start, and I'll put a new song in your heart.
That is beautiful.
Man, and I went home and picked up a guitar, and I was trying to work it out. What was interesting was I met my Ellie, and we'll be getting married this November. The interesting story, I'll digress, but just to plug this in.
Sure.
Absolute synchronicity from the get-go. Her birthday is November 27th. Mine is November 28th. So we're going to do, and that's like 1 out of 1,000 things.
Right.
This is just ordained. It's so cool. So we're going to do this wedding where I now pronounce you man and midnight kiss, both our birthdays right there,
Beautiful.
So we're going to incorporate the idea. But I met Ellie on a Friday night, and the next Saturday morning, I picked up my guitar and I wrote that song, the entire song, in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, amazing. It's amazing how fast some songs can come to you and how some songs take weeks or months to put together.
I feel like that's what some of these other songs that I'm releasing were. Those organic ones, right, that happen. Like when I'm sitting here and the train goes by, I was sitting here, well, it's not sitting here, I was walking here a couple of years ago, and it was actually in the summertime when I wrote Still America. It says, there's a 2-lane street in this one-horse town. Lean left at the fork, you can follow it down to an old man fishing by a railroad track where the soldiers leave town and never come back. I wasn't sure why he saluted, We hadn't seen that train in years. Old Glory painted on that engine. Then it all came crystal clear. It's still America here. And the train that passes by here, you know how the engines always have Old Glory painted on the sides of those engines.
Yes.
I mean, and it's so cool to be here. I don't know. I just kind of gravitated to this spot. I was going to go home and do this, but I'm really happy that I'm sitting here where I've had so much of this experience and this personal growth. And I tell you what, Al, sometimes, the hardest things we go through are the very things we need to go through to get strong enough to go to these next levels of what we're trying to accomplish. And I didn't know that. Really, I was one of those guys that would hightail it away from pain, man. I didn't want pain.
Yeah.
Who likes pain?
No, exactly. I agree with you.
Nobody likes pain.
No,
but now I just run headlong into adversity. If I see a dark corner of me, I'll just dive right into it and see what's in it.
That's what you got to do.
Right. So at any rate, when it comes to the singles, I've got 4 coming out in the next month.
4 in the next month.
I have. Oh my gosh, yeah. And you know what? And I'll shoot you the dates too.
Yeah.
So you know, because here's one thing that you need to know, and I love Mark Rosner because he.
Oh yeah, great guy.
We were having a video meeting a couple weeks ago, and I just love his candor. Michael, you need to just be making music because all this other stuff, you're really not good at it.
Yeah, I was going to talk to Michael and Mark. I think I still will, but
yeah. Well, he might get mad at me and say I never said that, but I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he was saying. All the social media stuff, all this. I come on here with you because I love you. I miss a lot of stuff. I'm not great at that part of it. I just want to make music, man. Yeah. And I feel like everything else just gets in the way of it. And one of the lines that God gave me in my Ellie, in that new song, is if I could just be faithful with his art, he put a new song in my heart. So that's really what my life is about. It's trying to be faithful to his art, which is love. 1 John 4:8 says, for he who does not love does not know God, for God is love, period.
Amen.
You don't have to have a church to believe that. It doesn't matter, what your idea of love is to a point, right? Just keep the kids out of it for any of you that might be on the far left and any of you guys on the far right. You're all wings on the same weird bird.
Right.
It's all the people in the middle that are just trying to love each other. And I don't want to get political here, but I will go this far, if you don't mind, is let's stop letting the government bullshit us into fighting each other over what they think is true. And then while we're down here fighting over black, white, brown, yellow, gay, straight, Raiders, Chargers,
yeah.
I mean, who really gives a shit?
Yeah, who
cares? At the end of the day, we need to love each other because all they're doing is running away with a pot of gold while we're sitting down here arguing about nothing.
Yeah.
And we really just need to be loving each other and loving everybody.
We do. We need to put the crap aside and appreciate each other for what we are and what we do and who we are. And the government can kiss my ass. I mean, they are a pain in our butt. Let's not go there.
Bobby, my bass player, and one of my very best friends I've ever had. When we first started Bad Horse, we weren't Bad Horse. We had a different name back then. We've only been Bad Horse for a year. That's what's so phenomenal about this. I don't think we've had Flip Perkins for a year yet.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of insane what's going on that fast. But
that's beautiful.
Bob, and here's why I think it's happening now. Here's why I know it's happening is Bob and I, the first conversation we had was we had 2 rules. Rule 1, it's got to be about the love.
Yeah.
And we have, and it's kind of wild now. So we have, 12 songs with the name or the word love in the title. We've got Real Love, Love Is Gonna Find You. We have all these songs, and they're badass rock songs. So you can't scoff at them and go, what are these guys? The hippie movement? I got news for you, man. I had no idea I was a hippie.
That's awesome.
I was raised by my hippie aunts, and my mom was a bit of a hippie, and my grandpa was this like very staunch right-wing conservative. World War II, Vietnam. Vietnam was my father. World War II, Korea was my grandfather, and I don't know why. I just kind of ended up leaning into that, and I realized something that wasn't me. That was the outer shell that I had developed to try to hide how scared I was from the reality that I didn't know who I was, man. But when I woke up to who I really was, I realized that this is, and what Bobby and I agreed upon was rule one. This has to be about the love. So when we play music, and I play a place called Old State Saloon, and they just had they had heterosexual Pride Month or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Rob, who I love like a brother, Rob the manager messaged me and said, "Hey, so I just want to let you know this is a national story now."
Wow.
And he goes, "Well, how do you feel about it?" And I said, "You know what, man?" I said, my first question was why.
Yeah.
The second question, I mean, because I didn't ask for a parade.
Yeah.
You know, the second question I had was, the place is all inclusive, right? Because I have gay friends. One of my best friends and my fiance's best friend, Philip, and his partner, Rob, I love them to death. And if they can't come to my show, I'm not going to play there.
Yeah, really.
You know, so he's like, no, it's not about that. It was just something they did almost tongue in cheek, right? You got to be careful, right?
Yeah.
And then it got picked up, and now it's just it's a bit of a runaway train. I think they're doing a lot of business, but at the same time, I told Rob, I said, what's important for me, and I told everybody at the show, I played there twice in the last 2 weeks. I had a couple back-to-backers there. I said, my job is to create an environment of love through the music so everybody can love everybody.
Yeah, that's what
everybody's welcome. And this is all inclusive. Because how do we, if we're allowing religion, if we're allowing these other concepts, anything, if we're allowing it to divide us, then how can we ever really how can we ever be free? How can we ever really love each other?
I don't think we can if we don't get along.
Music is the medicine, man.
It is.
It's my medicine.
Yeah.
And my music is medicine, and that medicine is about love, and that love heals me, and then I share it with my friends. And you, Al, and every listener out there, you guys are my friends. And that's the evidence of God being love, because I haven't met 99.999% of you, but I already love you. And that's only possible through the love of God, and through the love of Christ.
I agree.
It's just what he taught. And you go, oh, Jesus wasn't real.
Bullshit.
Whatever your angle is, let it go and just know this. Jesus was the pure embodiment of love, thus making him God on earth, God in flesh.
Right.
And he was talking about love one another, love your neighbor. Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Right.
Right? And how do you love your neighbor if you don't love yourself? One of the biggest problems is we grow up with all this religion, all this political stuff, and our parents and people telling you, oh, you're a terrible this, you're a terrible dad, you're a drug addict, you're an alcoholic, you're a loser.
Right.
So all of a sudden we start accumulating this false identity of who we are. That's not who you are. That's what you've done.
Yep. I agree.
Right? So who we are is better together in and through love, and that's where we heal together. And I'm trying to start a love movement again, like in the 60s, but we'll keep the LSD out of this.
Oh, darn. I'm just kidding.
Mushrooms are fine.
There we go.
Mushrooms are fine now.
Okay,
We're going to keep the LSD out of it this time.
Mushrooms are good.
We're not going to let the CIA infiltrate our love movement.
No, we don't want
everybody all tripped out.
Not at all. Michael, do me a favor. Tell everybody in podcast land where they can find your music, where you're playing, merch, all that good stuff.
Oh, thank you, guys. You can go badhorse.shop and buy our merchandise online, www.badhorse.shop. Go on Facebook and find us, Bad Horse or Michael F. Rose, F as in Frederick.
Okay.
You can find us on any music app worldwide. We're playing, our next show is, I believe it's Hyde Park Street. But look on our event schedule, please.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at this. I'm not so bad they have to come get me and throw me in the car and take me to the
There
show.
we go. Right.
It's just, it's like I'm working on so much music simultaneously that I run out of RAM for like these necessary particulars. But please check our event schedule if you're in and around town. I know something that we did just book is Boise Hive is a wonderful nonprofit organization in downtown, not downtown Boise, but they're close.
Okay.
But they're in Boise, and they are a nonprofit, and they're suicide prevention. They create a safe environment for sober musicians. They have rehearsal halls there, but one thing they do that they asked us to do, and they asked us back, is they do a live internet concert that's broadcast worldwide, and their production is amazing. They got 4 or 5 different camera angles working. Their sound there is just top notch. So if you want to donate to an organization that loves people and that's really helping people, take a look at Boise Hive's statement of faith, quote unquote.
I will.
Because they're boots on the ground, and they're helping artists and musicians because a lot of us are challenged.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty challenged guy. Yeah, I mean I've gotten better as I've gotten older, man. But in my 20s, I had anxiety and panic attacks so bad I didn't leave my house for a year when I was 26.
Oh.
I mean, this whole artist thing is as much as it looks like it's fun. It might be on stage for a little while, because that really is the medicine time where we get to all love each other and get together. And I thank everybody that comes to our shows. I had a couple sold out solo shows.
Nice.
Friday and Saturday. Last Wednesday, Bad Horse played. Oh, they kicked off a little summer music concert series in Kuna, which is my hometown. Now I'm giving away my songwriter's secret place down here where I'm sitting. But everybody's welcome. Yeah, it's an amazing time, and it just keeps getting. I mean, it's always good, Al. It doesn't matter necessarily the accolades. It's just life is good, and on top of that, like I told you, and I was getting gas before we started the show, and I started ringing my truck bell, getting in on you. I found her.
Great. That is great, my friend. That is great.
Yeah, man.
Now, are you playing with the band all the time, or are you slipping on the side and doing some acoustic shows?
I do both. I have Michael F. Rose, which is separate from Bad. I mean, it's kind of one of the same, but I do like Ellie's song, or My Ellie, new song.
Right.
The guys hear it, and, when we're sitting around at rehearsal, I mean, we work our butts out, and we usually take a half-hour break and talk business, and I say, hey, I sent you guys that track. What do you guys think? And like the last time when I pitched new song, which I think they might change their mind because I have drums on it now. I've really kind of souped this thing up.
Okay.
They said, I let them, they get to decide too. See, Bad Horse isn't just me being the boss. Bad Horse is a equal part for artists, because I really am surrounded by some monster players, very talented songwriters, arrangers, players. These are guys who've been in the business for a long time. So
nice.
Everybody's an equal share owner of Bad Horse. I do have more songs because I, kind of started it being the only songwriter. But when we got Mark Hume on board, Mark started coming, and we have God Only Knows, Nothing Good About Goodbye, Real Love, he wrote the music for. And what I love about Mark is he'll just 12:30 or whatever he hears it, he'll send me these little snippets of verse chorus or maybe a little middle eight or something. And 2 days later, I'll send it back to him because I'll have dumped it in the studio and built at least a demo version. Then when we go over to Boise to Bobby's place where we song build, go in there and just create. I'm telling you this, Al. We are creating a monster album right now, and it's just bizarre. And I'm saying this from a guy who's just kind of hanging on to the reins, right, while this horse is just running free.
It is.
It's such an exciting time. I mean, in every way. But remember, every action causes an equal and opposite reaction. So you can't get too high, and you don't want to get too low. Just ride that middle wave, even when things are
A little funky, yeah.
That's how you end up losing your mind.
Yeah, you can do it very easy in this business. Oh, really, can you ever? So now the years have been good, and you've been playing out and stuff, and you've been playing bigger shows. You liking the bigger shows where the people are a little farther out from you, or you still like the smaller venues where the people are right on top of you?
I love them both.
Yeah.
I get more of that intimate in the living room, listening to the song performed the way that it sounded on the acoustic when I wrote it, when I do my solo shows.
Mm-hmm.
And the bigger shows are just that high octane.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it's a lot. I love it. And you can't give me a big enough stage, man. I'm all over it.
You're all over it.
Because I want to play and I want to go out and see everybody. I just want to sing my ass off and just let everybody know how much I love them. And we never phone anything in, man. Even our rehearsals, we're balls to the wall.
Nice.
We just pedal to the metal every single time. I was playing a wonderful place. I played Old State Saloon in Eagle Friday, but Saturday night I went over for my friends at the Vault in Eagle.
Okay.
And I had this couple, Jason and Jenny came up to me, and they said, we had to come and see your show, man. And we went over to, I guess, Whiskey Myers was in town, who I love. They got a lot of great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, we're at Whiskey Myers, and we have some pretty good seats. But we just kept thinking, man, I just want to go see Michael Rose. And I'm not tooting my own horn. You look for Jason and Jenny, because they're going to be at my next show. I'm going to have them put this up so people don't think I'm over here tooting my own horn.
I love it. Jason and Jenny.
Jason and Jenny, get in touch with me now so I don't look like, some maniac over here.
I love it.
But it was so sweet. They said, you know what? Halfway through we left and we wanted to come and see your show.
That is great, Michael. I
thought that is amazing. Well, they're from Austin.
Oh,
so they're more used to they're used to that intimate in your face. I think that was a big part of it too. I'm certainly not taking anything away from how amazing Whiskey Myers is.
Right.
I just thought it was just so flattering.
Oh yeah.
To have somebody come up and I get it all the time. It's so wonderful, man. And you know what I do? And I think we should all maybe do is, and not maybe, let me detract maybe from that.
All right.
When somebody compliments us, find something to compliment them back about.
There you go. I agree with you. And that will jump me over. Yeah. And since you brought up them, I'm going to jump to a question I don't think I asked you before. Because when you're on that stage and you're performing your heart out because you kick ass and you start singing and those people are moving and swaying and dancing and singing your songs back to you, my friend, it's got to hit your heart really hard. It's got to make you feel real good. How is it?
I have a running joke with Ellie, and the band already knows, of course, but I cry more than Michael Landon on Little House on the Prairie.
I love it. I mean, I used to have.
So one of the hardest things, I really had to learn how to manage emotion on stage, because when I hear people singing, my songs, just when I see them, or when I'm singing my lyrics about certain times in my life that have got me to here, I really have to manage that lump in my throat, because you can't sing with that.
I know. I used to have to turn around. I couldn't do it, man. It's like, I'm going to hide behind the amp for a minute and get composure. That's true.
One thing I don't always do, but I often do, especially at the bigger shows, and I was able to do it last year at Hyde Park Street Fair, which is in the north end of Boise, and it's a very quote-unquote liberal side of town, and I had somehow been pegged as some right-wing conservative guy because I have We the People on my forearm from my earlier days.
Okay.
And I could see all the photographers were down in front of Mark shooting pictures of my right. I saw what they were looking at.
Yeah.
So right before we played Still America, I think it was Still America, which you can listen to, everybody, please do, and download it. And I truly love streams, but download a song or two if you would, because that's what keeps us trucking. I stopped before I started that song. I took a pause, because we usually play straight through 3 or 4 songs, and then I'll take a little break and say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
And I said, I want everybody to see this "We the People" on my forearm.
Okay.
I don't care your sexual orientation. I don't care your politics. I don't care about your religion. You know what? This "we" is everybody.
Yes.
This is all of us. And the crowd stood up and cheered. And I was pleasantly surprised. But I realized in that moment that everybody was ready for that love moment where we could cut the bullshit, you know?
We come together.
And finally just get down to the brass tacks of what life is really about. It's really about, you know, finding a way to love yourself. Don't believe what the world told you you were.
No.
You know, love your neighbor, help people. You know, that's just how this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And people are just too busy on their tablets, phones, and they don't get it, it seems.
Well, you know, sooner or later, everybody's going to have a chance because we all have that last day, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So I was thinking, like, what's my last day going to be like when I'm laying on my bed, surrounded by my kids and my wife and my grandkids, and sitting there thinking, am I going to look back and go, oh man, I really should have played music. I really should have gone balls out and just done that.
You don't want no regrets. Not at all. You want to fulfill your life to the maximum and do it as long as you can to make yourself happy.
It's like I said in Still America. Mm-hmm. In God we trust is what I know. I'm half Evel Knievel, half G.I. Joe.
That's right. True blue Americans. That's what we are.
Now my church on Sunday is a fishing hole where Jesus and a jig can save your soul.
Right. Love it.
So, right? So just everybody love everybody. Would you, for heaven's sake? Let's start there, and then we'll figure out the semantics. But I think what we'll realize, Al, is in the course of truly loving each other and helping each other. Now, there's going to be crazies on the firms that this doesn't work for.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You got to, like, even God, you know, God's love is unconditional with healthy boundaries. That's what the commandments were all about.
Yep.
They're a really good idea, whether you dig them or not.
They are good ideas.
The first 5 are spiritual law. The second 5 are just a really good way for humanity to operate. You know, don't murder, don't covet your neighbor's stuff, and certainly not his wife. And don't. I mean, how are those? Those shouldn't be that bizarre of a premise. I think we all, regardless of what politics we subscribe to or what religion we believe in, those are just pretty basic moral principles that we can build a society on.
Very true. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
So that's what my music's really all about. It's I'm just trying to create this legacy of love that long after I'm gone. And I saw guys do it. I'm certainly not likening myself to any of these men, but like John Lennon and these guys that, I mean, look at George Harrison and I mean, those were dudes that, as a kid, when I was listening to them, you know, from All You Need Is Love and to George, you know.
Oh, yeah. Great stuff.
So anyway, I'm kind of ranting about love, but that's kind of all I know.
Well, it's good. That's a good thing.
Love everybody, for heaven's sake. Would you? Can we stop this and quit watching the goddamn news?
You might turn that shit up. Give everybody a hug and tell them you love them. Give them a big old kiss. That's right, my friend. Let's talk about a couple of songs before we run out of time here. All right. Now, 57 Chevy, of course, hitting the charts. It's on fire, taking off. Was this a quick song that you wrote, or did it take a little time?
57 Chevy is a bit of an irony.
Okay.
57 Chevy is one of those songs that Mark sent me in the wee hours of the morning.
All right.
And I just got that. What happens to me is if I get a song that my head automatically, I don't know who decides, my unconscious mind, God himself, maybe, you know, I don't know. But I feel like a good song, a good song, it starts looping in my head. Oh. My head starts building the song. I can't even turn it off. And it won't stop looping until the song is done.
You got to finish it. You got to finish it.
That's it. The only conscious thing that I'm thinking is, I got to get this done because this song's driving me out of my mind.
Right. You're not going to get any rest.
Right? So when I wrote 57 Chevy, it's a song about, and I don't want people to get religious on me here and go, he was just talking about God. Now he's talking about how hot his chick is. Oh, yeah. My chick is gorgeous. She's got lines that look so fine.
Oh.
It makes it hard to watch the road.
Hey, I love it.
You know, little girls got me revved so high, she'd make a mortal man explode. I mean, these songs, but what's interesting about 57, they're, oh gosh, John, which one is it? There's a baby song. I can't think of it, Al. It's one he's talking about driving down the street and her dress is above her knees and Midnight Rendezvous.
Could be. You don't want me to go there.
Right? He's like, driving faster than you want me to. Can't help myself when I'm alone with you. All right.
Yeah.
That was kind of the vibe. And I didn't really realize it when I was writing the song. But after I heard it, I went, that was kind of what I was after, but it's not even near as cool as the babies. John Wayne, you know, it's like, come on, man.
Right. That's beautiful.
But that was kind of the visual that I was after, you know. Anytime's the right time, baby, when I'm burning up the track. Morning, noon, or nighttime, honey, drag your nails across my back.
Oh.
And she don't mind if I'm behind when we're coming around the turn, because she's all mine at the finish line, because we never crash and burn. 57 Chevy.
That's good. That's good.
It was just one of those songs, you know, about feeling passionate, being on fire for how hot your woman is.
Right.
And I don't want to say anything about how gorgeous mine is, because, you know, she gets enough messages and messenger from you weirdos.
You're right. Mine does too. Mine gets them from the military.
Right. Well, what's crazy too is she asked me one day, she's like, do you get like messages in Messenger all the time? And I go, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of do. But, you know, and I just go,
block. That's what I do.
Block. No, thank you, sweetie. I'm good.
Block. Yep. I had I had some really weird stuff last night sent to me. Block. It's like, oh no.
It's that easy, thank God.
Thank God. That's funny.
It's that easy. Plus, you got to realize, too, half of these dudes that get on that stuff are sending money to like some poor woman or even a man in a third world country who's using somebody else's pictures to make you feel like you're loved. Yeah. Back to what we were saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
If we can love ourselves, man, you don't feel like you need all that bullshit.
No, I agree.
You fill the space. Love fills the space, you know?
Yep.
Different real relationships fill that gap. And I know there's a lot of lonely people in the world. And the world's a trippy place now.
It is. And I think
lonely people, you're welcome to Bad Horse shows. I will add too, if I can, is there's a suicide prevention hotline number. I usually have it at my desk, but I'm not at my desk right now. And if anybody is so lonely that they're thinking about hurting themselves or somebody else, you can message me anytime. Al, I think you'd be able to
yes, you can message
you.
Oh, yes.
Message us and just give us a minute to let you know how important you are.
Regardless
of what people have convinced you.
Exactly.
Please. You don't even know who you are yet. And last year, when I was walking this creek out, I wasn't thinking about, jumping off the bridge. But I thought, man, there's some parts of me that need to die. Well, I need to kill some parts of me. And I realized that's probably where people think, I'm going to kill myself. I did want to die to self, but I didn't want to leave my earth suit, right?
Right. Well, throw the crap over the bridge and rebuild that bridge. And that's what you do.
That's right, brother. Well put. Thank you for helping me put a quick exclamation point on that rabbit hole.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, my friend. All right, where are we at? We're at 44 minutes. My goodness, my friend. Got a couple more questions, and we're going to have to bolt.
I know, brother.
All right.
We always get into it, Al.
Oh, I know. We got a lot to chat about, my friend. Okay. Now, this past year, you've been very busy. This question happens to a lot of my rockers out there, but did it happen to you? Any embarrassing moments, Michael, on stage?
No.
You dropped the
Most of
guitar?
my embarrassing moments happen off stage.
Off stage. That's great.
Right. I had an embarrassing moment last week, and this will also plug into the love. I'm driving. I have a couple vehicle options, but I'm driving my 2002 Chevy Suburban Z71 that I love. It's got 310,000 miles on it.
Whoa.
And I'm trying to run this thing 400,000 just to kind of jokingly spite my sons who are like, go get your new truck.
That's great.
Go get your new truck. I'm like, no, I'm running this truck. Well, the gas gauge breaks.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, okay, well, I think I'm good. I wasn't good. I ran out of gas.
Oh, no.
So I'm on the side of the road. I'm in front of somebody's house. I parked in their driveway because I kind of had to just pull right off and stop and block all their cars in their dirt driveway because I'm out in the country. If I didn't stop there, I would have had to coast a quarter mile and walk back to their house. There was nothing around.
Damn.
So I'm walking through this place, and I've never been there. I'm just kind of, hello, knock, knock. It says, beware of dogs.
Yeah,
so I'm certainly not going to go in the yard. And I'm just waiting either for Leatherface or Cujo to come out and kill me. So I go, and all of a sudden this really sweet woman comes out and goes, can I help you? I said, honey, I just ran out of gas. My gas gauge broke last week. And she goes, oh, hold on. Let me get my husband. And her husband comes out, and I go, man, I'm sorry to bother you. I explained it to him. He goes, I already know. And I'm like, okay. Well, he doesn't seem real delighted to have my ass in his driveway out of gas.
Right.
But I was wrong. He came out with this 5-gallon, those white big old bottles that you use to fill motorcycles, right?
Yeah.
He comes out and he goes, here. And I go, well, I just need a couple sips of it. There's a gas station a couple miles down. He goes, you either take the whole thing or you don't take any.
Yeah, I'll take it all.
And I said, really? I go, what's your name? He goes, Lonnie. And I said, my name's Michael. Nice to meet you, man. I said, can I give you some money for the gas? He goes, nope. Like I said, either put that gas in your truck or sit the bottle down. And I went, yes, sir.
There you go.
So he came over with me, and we filled it up, and I shook his hand again and told him, God bless you, and
that's beautiful.
Love your neighbor as you love yourself. So I guess that's evidence that Lonnie does have some love for himself, because he was able to love me enough to give me probably $15 worth of gas to get me down the road. Now, I'm really leaning hard on I'm going to need a new truck, but I hope my girl I'm sitting in here doesn't hear that. Make it happen sooner than it has to.
Be quiet. Yeah, don't talk too loud about it.
Right.
Cross her real nice. Keep her good.
Right.
Michael F. Rose is in the house, everybody. We're having a great conversation. We could go on for hours, me and Michael. We probably will after the show here. Michael, thank you for doing the podcast today, my friend. I appreciate you coming on again.
Always here for you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And as we said earlier, if you guys, we're indie artists. We're signed with big records, but Big Records is an indie artist label that helps us make the moves that we need to make to get to the places that we need to take this medicine.
Yes, we do.
For not just for us, but for you guys too. So, badhorse.shop. Google Michael F. Rose or Bad Horse Music. Follow us. Support us as you can. And we'll get the medicine to you as best we can. And we love you all. Thank you. And I love you too, Alan. Thanks so much for having me.
I love you, brother. Don't go anywhere. Don't hang up on me. We're going to end this show. Thanks again, Michael F. Rose from Bad Horse out in Idaho. If you're out in Idaho, check out Bad Horse. It's a great show to go see Michael and show your love. Get up there and talk to him after or before the show and get the CDs, albums, whatever he's got for you. So again, Michael, thank you for being on the show. We'll get this to the platforms. It's going on YouTube now. We're on YouTube and, of course, Spotify, those other platforms and stuff. So check out the past shows, future shows, and support the local national music scene. Do it, all right? I said to. I don't want to come through the phone with my foot. That's right. All right, we're out here. Everybody have a good one till the next show. It's going to be a great one. Michael, don't go anywhere. We're out of here.
I'll be here.
All right.
Love
Peace.
you all. Thank you.